Okay, that's the 45-degree leg press. Trying to do anywhere from 12 to 15 reps. Keeping the feet nice and straight. Using your quads to push. Keeping them very low on the platform. Now you want to inhale. On the way up, you want to exhale. That's go across the chest. Dip your shoulder. Squeeze it. Remember, do it right. Out and up. Thumb goes down as you raise it up. Thumbs down, elbows up. Down, elbows up. Muscle you're working, going back, coming up, squeezing here. You can also do this exercise with weights as you progress. As you start to train harder and train more, you may want to start fine-tuning your shape of your body. And one way of doing this is going to an advanced routine. Advanced routine consists of a 4-day split or a 6-day split. For all due purposes, we're going to talk about the 4-day split first. This consists of training chest, back, and arms on one day. The next day you'll come back and you'll train legs, shoulders, and abs. And then you have a day off on your 3rd day. This is so that your body can recover before going back and have to start the whole routine all over again, which consists of chest, back, and arms, and then you have your legs, abs, and also your shoulders. The reason you do this is so that your body can start to grow a little bit more. That's why you're splitting it up. The 6-day split routine consists of breaking that down. Mainly this is for your bodybuilders. They need more rest in between body parts because they go all out to train these body parts. They may train chest in the morning, come back that evening and train shoulders. They may train legs that one day, and which will consist of just the quads, then the hamstrings that evening. The next day they'll come in, they'll train their back, and then they'll train arms. Now they do this so that their body can get good amount of rest in between. They'll take a day off, and then they'll come back and repeat the cycle all over again. So every 7 days they're changing. But you got to understand, they're also taking a day of rest in between. Okay? But for our purposes, we're going to train 4-day split first, which consists of training your chest, your back, and your arms. Then we go on to do your legs, your abs, and then your shoulders. The reason I put abs in between so I can give my body a little rest. Training my abs is not that tough, and my body can sort of coast while I'm getting a little rest, and I come back and hit my shoulders hard. A lot of people like to split delts up. They may do just all front delts and do the rear delts with back. But for us, we'll just put them all together and just train complete shoulders, which consist of the rear delt and the traps with the shoulders in. Okay? So, first of all, remember to keep the rep range in between 12 to 15 for the lighter sets. Then you go 8 to 12 for the medium sets and 6 to 10 on your heavy sets. Day 1 could always consist of your weaker body parts first. And also you need to put all your energy focused on your legs if you want them to grow and balance out. Try to keep everything consistent. Reps got to be between 4 to 5, rep ranges from 12 to 15, sets are from between 3 to 4 sets, depending on the group of muscles that you're training. Now, first of all, we'll start with legs first because that's our weaker body parts and we're going to get those things to grow. And if you have strong legs, the rest of the foundation will be there. Monday, Tuesday. Monday being your lower body, Tuesday being your upper body. So you get the legs first for your lower, and upper body will come on Tuesday, which will be what? Your chest, your back area. Then you have your day, which is Wednesday of rest. Then you have Thursday, Friday, you're repeating your cycle all over again. And then you have a Saturday, Sunday off. So you're getting your 4 days in. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. As you progress, you'll notice that your form and your technique is going to get a lot better. When your form and technique start to improve, you can move up. Always wait for yourself to have good form. Normally in about 2 to 3 years, you'll notice that you're able to handle more weight, but that doesn't mean you have great technique. Once you start putting that technique in there and your form, you'll notice that you can use less weight but still get the same benefits from it. So what you want to try to do is wait until you're able to handle heavy weight with good form. So try to remember always to get good form and good technique at the lower level, at your beginner stage. That's where all that form and technique has to come in. Once you start to progress, everything else will be easy. But if you try to use heavy weight at the beginning, your technique's going to be way off. And you'll start doing things incorrect. Then you start having pull muscles, soreness here, soreness there. You want to try to avoid all that by getting that technique down. You will notice that in the beginning stages, you can always train at home. That's your very beginner stage. But as you advance, you'll start running out of things to do at home. That's when it's time to join a gym. You'll find a local gym that you have a lot bigger variety of what you need to do. You have like different machines, several different machines for the same muscle group, where at home you maybe have just one piece. You know, like doing a leg press. At home you're not going to have a leg press. You probably end up doing just squats and only squats. You know, there's some things you can do that like with a dumbbell, but mainly you need to go to a gym so you can get a real nice 45-degree angle leg press. You can go to that for a hack squat. You have different machines for the pull downs. At home you'd only have maybe just one way to do a pull down, but like I say, in a gym you have a wider variety. So always try to join a gym as you advance. In your early stages of training, you normally stick to a routine. You'll try to stay with that routine for anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks, then you'll change. You try to pick stuff that you have, equipment that you have in your home or in the gym, so that you can be able to change every 6 weeks. Now, you may want to start out with doing like chest, back, and arms. Try to change your routine at least every 6 to 8 weeks, so that your body never gets stale and stagnant about what you're doing. That way your body will continuously grow. Today what we're going to do, perform the 45-degree leg press. This is the first exercise for the more heavier advanced routine. Here we have a 45-degree leg press machine. Okay. Just your back. Putting your feet shoulder width apart on the platform. Pushing up, releasing the handles. Grabbing the post. Bringing it down. Inhaling as you come in. Exhale as you come up. Making sure the knees touch the stomach. Don't shorten the movement. Exhale on the way up. Inhale on the way down. Exhale on the way up. Keeping the feet nice and straight. Pushing up. You're working the quadricep muscle. If you keep your feet low enough, you take the hamstrings out of the movement. A lot of people like to put their feet high. This works more hamstring than to do your quads. It's too much. So if you want to work your quads more, get better sweep on those quads. Put your feet down low, bringing it down, pushing it up. Trying not to raise your heels off the platform. Try not to push with the toes, but push through the feet and the heel, not the toes. Don't push off with the toes. Down, up. You want to do anywhere from 12 to 15 reps. Keep your feet nice and straight. Not letting your knees go in, but keeping them out. Down, up, locking. A lot of people who got this exercise and they do it a little wrong. They grab with their hands on their knees. You try not to place your hand on your knees. So when you let it down, you don't want to control it with your hands, but you want to control with the muscles of your quads. This is wrong. Try not to do this, but more of controlling your quads. Lock it, place it back, lower your legs, lean forward, bring yourself up. Okay, that's the 45-degree leg press. trying to do anywhere from 12 to 15 reps, keeping the feet nice and straight, using your quads to push, keeping them very low on the platform. Always try to push through the center of your feet, not from the toes, so from the center to the heel, okay? And another thing, making sure you don't arch your back on this thing. Try to keep it nice and straight, keeping it nice and firm down into the seat, not letting the movement lift your butt off the pad. Keep your butt down in the pad. Our next exercise is going to be called the hack squat. This angle is less than 45 degrees, but it keeps more pressure on your back and also on your quads. What you want to do is not arch your back, but keep your back nice and firm into the pad, keeping the feet low on the pad so you get more pressure on the quad and less on your butt. So, let's step right over here to the next exercise and I'll perform the exercise for you. Here we go to the hack squats. This is at an angle of less than 3/4 of the way up. It's slightly back. What you want to do is step in, plant your feet on the platform, shoulders back, making sure the weight's the correct weight, grabbing the handles, lifting up on your shoulders, pulling the handles in, slightly stepping your feet apart. Now, as you go down, you want to inhale. On the way up, you want to exhale. So, proceed. Down, up, inhale, exhale on the way up, down, up. Try to keep the movements nice and smooth. Try not to let the knees go too far forward so you keep the pressure off the knees. If you start to feel pressure on your knees, you want to step up a little higher so you can take the pressure off your knees. Proceed again. Keeping your back against the pad. Shoulders and head back. Nice, smooth, fluid movement. Now, you don't want to arch. That puts pressure on your back. And you also don't want to lift the hips off the pad. So if you start feeling those things happening, stop the movement, lock it back in place, rest a little, then proceed later. But if it's not bothering you, try to get to 12 to 15 reps. Feet shoulder width apart. Not together, but slightly shoulder width apart. This is too wide for you. That put too much strain on the groin, so you want to try to keep it in nice and tight. Okay? Here we go again. Down. Up. Back against the pad. Shoulders against the pad. Coming up. Down. Up. In performing this, you want to try to make sure that you keep your whole body tight, your feet in the great secure position, placing your back against the pad, your butt against the pad, your feet right in the middle so it feel real comfortable to your feet, making sure there's no pressure on your ankles, making sure everything is lined up so everything can be nice and fluid. If it's not, what you're going to end up doing is putting pressure on your knees, hurting your knees or hurting your lower back if they're out of position. So always try to get the alignment just right. This exercise is called the seated leg curl. First thing you want to do is adjust your back rest. Also, adjust the post for your feet and legs. Select the proper weight. Feet up. Locking yourself in. Now, pull from the hamstring. Now, back against the pad, pulling down, contracting the muscle, release. You want to try to do at least 12 to 15 reps. Once again, you exhale when you pull in, inhale when you let go. So you contract the muscle, you release. Contract, release. Slight pause at the bottom. Keep your body locked in nice and tight. Flexing the toes up.
Contracting all the way. Once you reach 15, stop. Release the rest. Let your legs rest. You should try to perform at least 3 sets of this exercise right here. And each one you want to do 12 to 15 reps. Don't forget, feet slightly shoulder width, a little narrow space there, adjusting your posts, making sure you're nice and locked in, grabbing the handles, breathing as you contract, inhaling as you come up, exhale as you go down and contract, inhale on the way up. Common mistake made here is that people let it stay a little too loose, so they're able to slide back and forth in here. You want no movement from your body. You keep your body nice and locked in, keeping your back against the pad. Trying not to arch your back, but keep your back against the pad by pushing yourself in to the pad. Contracting, coming down. All right? Breathe as you contract. Okay? Inhale as you release. Always make sure that your body's nice and tight and in the proper position so that you don't pick up bad habits by arching your back and also raising your knees up. The next exercise we're going to do is called the leg extension. First thing we're going to do is adjust the back rest. Then you adjust your feet rest. Make sure it's just to the right proper level. Then you set your weight to the proper weight. What we want to do is, when we sit in here, is keep our back pressed against the pad. Our feet flexed and up underneath the feet rest. We're going to bring it up in a nice smooth fluid movement, squeezing and flexing at the top, releasing it at the bottom, going down. Always trying to contract the muscle on the way up by breathing out. Breathing in as you come down and relax. All right, here we go. What we want to do is make sure the body stays against that pad so you're not sliding all over the place in the seat. Nice, smooth movement. Toes are flexed up, hands holding the post, keeping your body down. One of the most common mistakes here made is that a beginner normally flex their feet. You don't want to flex it, you point, but you want to flex. Never point, always flex up so you get more pressure on the quads. This is a very good exercise because it works down toward the teardrop of the knee. It shouldn't put that much pressure on your knee unless your seating is out of position. So always adjust the seat to your specs, not to someone else's. Don't just jump in and go because it's not set for you. Always select the proper weight. Keeping everything nice and moving slow, steady speed, not going too fast, not going way too slow, but keeping the pressure on the quads. The next exercise we're going to do for the day is the shoulder press, the seated dumbbell press. What we're going to do is grab a seat, grabbing your dumbbells, pressing them up, grabbing thumbs around, kicking one up, the other one. Now you want to just press overhead from here. Press up, bring it down. Press up, bring it down. Up and in, down. Up and in, bring it down. Trying to keep all the stress on the delt. Up, in, up, in, up. Thumbs around the little bar. Up, in, down. The reason we keep our thumbs around so that it doesn't slip out of our hands. Common mistake is for most people put their grip over. Never do that. Always try to keep it around so you have more control and you can balance it better with your thumbs around the bar. Now, once you have it up, you're going to push the dumbbell slightly into the center as though you're touching, so you contract the muscle more. Always try to contract. Breathing out as you go up, inhaling as you come in. So, Exhale, up. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Make sure you have a nice, smooth movement. Try not to arch the back, but keep the back nice and tight, pressing through. As soon as we finish with the dumbbell press, our next exercise would be front press. You do it with the barbell. Okay, now we're going to do a reverse grip front press. Keeping the shoulder apart. You want to press up. Keeping the pressure on your deltoid. Front. Ready? Squeeze. Release. Squeeze. Release. What we're doing here, we're working on front delt. Don't lock it out. Almost to lockout position, but stop. Squeezing it. Stand nice and tight, not arching your back. Making sure your wrists are locked in. Now, what we're trying to do is achieve more definition and build this front deltoid. In order to do that, you can't catch this way because it becomes more of a press and you get more overall delt rather than just the front. We want to hit just the front, so we're reversing our grip, sliding our elbows slightly in, and pressing through the movement. That keeps all the pressure on your front delt. Next, we're going to do upright rows. There's two ways of doing it. One for your traps and one for your shoulders. Wide grip is for your shoulders. Narrow grip is more for your traps and a little bit of your delt. But we want more of your delt, so we can get a wide grip. We're going to bring it up to where it's even, about shoulder width apart there. Breaking parallel, and then bringing it down. Ready? Proceed. Squeeze, down. Squeeze, down. Don't try to get it too high. Just when your shoulders stop moving, that's where you stop. Squeeze, down. Exhale, bring it down. Exhale, down. Exhale, squeezing it in. Now, if you want to work your traps, you put it in a little closer. Now you bring it up a little higher to your chin. Then you bring it down. Now you get more of your traps. A little less of the shoulders. So it's a two movement part. One's for your shoulders, one's for your traps. And your run, boys. Squeeze the movement. Making sure not to bend the wrist too far, so you keep the pressure off the wrist, but bringing those elbows up so you can squeeze and contract in. Common mistake is trying to lift the bar too high. Breaking the wrist too far. Put more pressure on your wrist, a lot of pressure on your neck. So just bring it up, that level, squeezing it, bring it down. When you bring it up for your traps, you'll be a little closer to your chin, so you get more of your rhomboids and your traps involved. When you want to go your shoulders, you want to keep your arms further apart, bring it till it contracts in and stops, and you bring it down. Now, from the trap exercise, what we're going to go to now, next, is the rear delt, where you need dumbbells. This also can be done on a rear delt machine. What we're going to do is seated rear delt for those who are at home, have their own little weights at home. Grabbing the dumbbells, bending over, locking yourself in, bringing the elbows out and up. Out and up. Thumb goes down as you raise it up. Thumbs down, elbows up. Down, elbows up. The muscle you're working is the rear delt. You also get a little bit of the rear trap, a little bit of the rhomboids. So, when you do it, lock yourself in position, bring it up and out. Squeeze it as you go up. Anywhere from 12 to 15 reps, or 10 to 12. Once again, unlock the arms, slightly bring it up, squeeze it in, bringing it down. Squeezing it in, bringing it down. Squeezing it in, bringing it down. You're trying to rest your stomach on your legs. When you bend over, you want to rest in that position so that you keep all the pressure off your lower back and it's not getting real tight. Once again, bring it up, bring it down. Thumbs down, bring it up, bring it down. Notice how I'm rotating my wrist to put the thumbs down toward the floor. Squeezing as I go up. Common mistake, to bring it too far in front. That works more your rhomboids, less of your rear delt. So try not to bring them forward so you can keep it off your rhomboids, but put most of the pressure on your rear delts. Okay, once again, thumbs around the bar, bring it up, squeezing, rotating the wrist down, elbows up, squeezing your rear delt, going through to the rhomboids. So you work your rear delt, your rear trap, and your rhomboids at the same time. But most of the pressure is going to be on your rear delt if you do it with correct form. Now we're going to go to the chest press. First one is going to be the incline press. What you want to do is put it on the 45-degree angle, adjusting the back to make sure everything's locked in and secure. Adjusting your seat, make sure it's locked in. Okay, you want to grab the bar, have a seat. You want to rock it up, position, and you want to press up. Pressing up by breathing out. Ready? Press up. Inhale, down to the chin. Exhale on the way up. Down to the chin. Exhale. Down to the chin. Exhale. Pushing through the movement. Pushing all the way through. Breathing out as you go up. Contracting on the way through. Good. That's it. Press it out. 12 to 15 reps. Squeeze in. Try not to get it too low in the chest. Keep it up by the chin. Pressing through. Elbows down. Don't put the elbows out because you put too much pressure on your delts. Elbows down. Pressing through. Now, this is for the weakest part. The reason you start with the incline press is because the upper pec is hard to bring out. So you want to do it while you're strong and you're fresh. Alright? Remember, always keep it up by the chin, elbows down. Don't raise the elbows up by the side because you put too much pressure on the delt and you take it off your chest. Alright, our next exercise is going to be a dumbbell press. Thumbs around the dumbbell, holding the bar tight, dumbbells on your knees. You're going to lie back, kick the dumbbells up, and lay flat again. Keeping your back flat against the pad. Now, ready? Kick it up, head back, out to your side. You want to press through the movement and push them inside. Squeeze, down, squeeze, down, squeeze, keeping the feet apart. Foot on the pad, press. Squeeze back against the pad, shoulders in. Squeeze, out. Contract at the top. There you go. Contract at the top, squeeze in through the movement. Elbows out to the side. 12 to 15 reps. Stop, knees up, bring it down. Common mistake made here is that people drop the dumbbells way too low. It's on the bottom part of the pec. You want to keep it up high if you can. Don't let it ride up too high because then you're working your shoulders and not your pec. You're going to try to always work the pec here rather than anywhere else. Now, if you drop too low, you're not working anything but your shoulders again. If you have it too high, you're working your shoulders also. So you try to keep it right across the middle of the pec. Never letting it veer out or in. Just lock it in, pressing through the movement so you get most of the pec working. Okay? Try not to get too high to the chin or close by the chin. Keeping the dumbbells away from your chin. Don't let it drift in because then you're pushing from your delt. Keep it out so you can push from the shoulders and a little bit from that pec there, squeezing the pec in. Once you're out here, now lower it down, you got all your pec movement moving. Very little shoulder movement. This is a push movement, so you're going to always have a little shoulders and a little tricep helping the pec move. Okay, our next exercise is called the Dumbbell Flat Fly. Alright, this is going to work the outer part of the pec. We've already worked the upper, we worked the center, now we work the outer part of the pec. As you go out, you're stretching through. When you start to press in, you get the outer, and it slowly moves to the center part of the pec at the finish of the movement. from start to finish here, from finish back to the starting position. So you want to squeeze and work all the way through the movement. Lock yourself in. Lay back, press up. Now, open it up, slightly bend the elbows, keeping the pressure off the elbow, pressing it back in. Out, in. Breathe. Breathe out. Breathe in as you let it down. Breathe out as you pull it up. Breathe out as you stretch. There you go. Inhale, stretching down. Exhale on the way up. Inhale, exhale. Make sure you stretch out. Don't lock the elbows, because now you got pressure there. Slightly bend, take the pressure off, put more on the chest. Stretch, press it in. Stretch, elbow slightly bent, press it in. Now, try not to keep the elbows straight, because you really hyperextend your elbows if you're pressing, letting it out. Try to always squeeze tight, elbow slightly bent, pressing it in. You don't work the outer region of the pec here. So that's when you get all the stretch. And as soon as you press in, you go from the outer, you move to the inside of the pec, squeezing it and contracting the muscle, controlling it back out, moving it back in. Try to stay nice and flat and firm. Keep your feet planted to the floor, back against that pad, keep your chest up, trying to stretch and work the chest all the way through the movement. This set of exercises for your back. And what we're going to do first of all is called the pull down. And we're going to do it front, okay? First of all, you want to set your weight to your proper weight. Put your hands on the bend part of the bar. Have a seat facing up at the bar, pulling down to the chin, contracting in the back. You want to do anywhere from 8 to 12 repetitions. Contracting as you pull down. This exercise can also be done from the rear. All it is by dipping your head forward here, hands a little wider, pulling behind the head, contracting into the back. Now we're trying to work our upper lat. One of the most common mistakes made in this exercise is when a person overpulls the bar. You only want to pull till the back is totally contract, then release. That way you don't engage any other muscles in this exercise. Remember, you can look up at the bar, pulling down to the chin, contracting, or you can pull behind the head, contracting in the back. It's a very good exercise for thickening the back a little bit and also making your back wide. It sometimes takes the place of a chin. That's using the bar here, you just chin up. But this is better because you have more control. A lot of people, when they can't do that, always refer to this. So, if at all possible, try to use this first to get stronger, then go to the chin bar, start doing them from there. Our next exercise we're going to do is for the upper lat. It's for the upper outer lat. What we want to do is try to do what we call an incline pull. And this is done by getting an incline bench, sliding it close to a machine. What we're going to do is step across, select a real good bar that we can get a good pull on. Make sure you got the proper distance between you and the machine itself. Placing your feet up on the rails. Leaning slightly forward. Pulling toward the chin and just below. Squeezing and contracting. Here we go. Bring it in. Squeeze. Same thing. You want to do repetitions between 6 to 12 reps, depending on how heavy you go. And you want anywhere from 3 to 4 sets. Each one of these back exercises should be done anywhere from 3 to 4 sets, 6 to 12, or 8 to 12 repetitions, just depending on how heavy you want to go. Always try to select the proper weight, keep your elbows properly placed, and pulling to the back. You should be able to feel your contraction. One of the most common mistakes used here is to lean back and pull. Rocking motion here. No rocking motions. Lock yourself in position, pulling down. Pulling down just below the chin. Squeeze and contract. All right? After you do your 6 to 8 reps, you want to properly let go without dropping the weight, slamming the weight. Then you move it down. Each time you want to try to go, you want to try to increase your weight if you're able to. If you can't, then you stay there until you're able to increase. If you're falling short of 6 reps, then you know you're going a little too heavy and you want to back it off and try to achieve 6 reps each time. This way you'll get a good constant burn on the back. Okay, now we're going to proceed on to the single arm row. To me, this is one of the best muscle builders for your lats. The reason I say this is because you get a good stretch on this and you can control the weight all the way through by contracting in. It can be done by pushing forward like a sawing motion, or you can take it from underneath, pulling like a real good rowing motion there. I'll demonstrate both movements. All right here we have the sawing motion. What you want to do is keep it slightly in front, pulling back to your hip. Pulling back to your hip. If you notice my arms going in and out like I'm sawing a log. And I can really feel my lat contracting. Now, the same exercise can be done from underneath by pulling out, contracting more for the thickness of that back. Working that lat, stretching it underneath, pulling it up, squeezing and contracting. Now, in doing this exercise, you do one side first, then you switch to the other side. Always try to do your weaker side first, because that way when you go to your stronger side, you still have the energy to pull. And you can use the same amount of weight on both sides. Take anywhere from maybe 15 to 30 seconds to rest. Then if you're training with a training partner, then you take a little longer. You just gauge yourself between his sets and your set. It's really easy to do. Once again, demonstrate. I'm only doing the left side because I know if you do the left side right, the right side is going to come right in. Here we go. Sawing motion first. Plant your feet out. Knee on the bench. Hand in front of you. Don't put it up underneath, because you start pulling up using too much bicep. Slightly keep it in front of you. Pull into the hip. Squeezing. Letting it stretch you out. Don't let it pull your body this way. Keep it nice and straight and tight. Pull it into the hip. That's your sawing motion. Now do under grip row. Pulling the up and out. Up and out. Up and out. There we go. Try not to use the bicep. A lot of people, when the weights get a little heavy, they use what we call straps to hold on to the bar better. This way you don't have to depend on your grip and your forearm holding so tight, but you still get a good pull from it. Always remember, 6 to 12 reps. 6 meaning that's your heaviest set, 12 is your lightest set. Okay, right now we're going to proceed on to what we call the seated row. This is normally done by a low pull, which is you pull into the lower part of the abdomen. Okay, first of all, once again we'll set our weight. We're going to do a close grip seated row. We're going to use a different type of bar. We're going to set our backs, keeping our back straight, arms extended. Proceed by pulling the shoulder blades back and together. Moving the bar to the stomach. Squeeze it and contract in there. Releasing. You want to do anywhere from 12 to 15 reps here on your first set. Then you'll drop down once you go heavier. Anywhere from 10 to 12. Then on your third or fourth set, you should be down anywhere from 6 to 8 reps. Trying to move the bar, moving the cable and the bar consistently. Pull into the stomach. Don't make the mistake of trying to pull too high up here, because that's not the movement. The movement is pulling low, working on your lower lat. Pull it and squeeze it in. This is wrong. Bad movement. But you want to keep the bag nice and tight, stretching it just a slight forward, and then pull into your stomach. Shoulder blades going back, getting the contraction on the back. The most common mistake made here is that people tend to lean forward and they rock their body back to pull. So now you got that rocking motion. Yes, you are working your lower erectors, but you don't want to do that right here, because if you're doing a good deadlift or hyperextension, you're going to work those muscles separate. So try to keep your back tight, slight chest up, pulling to your stomach and squeezing your back. Always remember to keep that rep range anywhere from 12 to 15 on your first set. As you go heavier, you decrease going down. Once again, grabbing the bar, placing your feet on the pad, slightly leaning forward, pulling in and contracting, making sure you're getting not too much movement from your lower back, but just enough. Squeezing it in. Squeezing it in the stomach. Squeezing it into the stomach. All right. Release. Now you're going to feel a slight burn on your biceps. That burn becomes very great. That means you're pulling too much with the arms and not enough with the back. So try to remember, always pull your shoulder blades contracting in first, then move the bar to your stomach. That way you'll keep the stress off your biceps. Okay, now we're going to move to arms. What we want to do is select a straight bar. It's called straight bar curl. Okay, right now I've selected the straight bar. Lifting it up. Proceed. Arms shoulder width apart. We'll proceed by pulling with the biceps and not with the forearms. So slightly push the arms back, wrist back. Now bring it up, squeezing just above. Bring it down. Slightly bending the knees, lifting, contracting it in, and bringing it down. Rep range here is anywhere from 8 to 12 reps. Try not to over curl. Over curling means to lift your elbows way up, bring it to your lip. That's over curling the bar. Keep it down, squeezing in. Slightly pulling the elbows forward as you bring it up, contracting. Making sure your wrist is turned back so you don't get any forearm pull. One of the common mistakes made here is trying to lift the elbows too high. Also, big mistake is to bend your wrist forward so you get too much forearm play into it. So try to keep it straight, bring it up slightly back, contracting your biceps. Very good exercise. As you go heavier on this exercise, you probably end up doing anywhere from 6 to 8 reps. But always try to get the good contraction. Squeezing, slightly pulling the elbows forward, keeping the knees bent, and bringing it up. Never over curl the bar. All you do is have an injury. So try to keep it down and bringing it up. Okay? Once again. Squeeze. Arms slightly apart. Knees bent, slightly bent. Using only the muscles you're working, which is your biceps, not the forearms. Bring up and squeeze. Okay? That's what you call standing barbell curl. The next exercise for the day is going to be the dumbbell curls. We'll do this from the sitting position. Okay? Make sure your feet are planted to the floor. We're going to do what you call an alternating dumbbell curl. That means you're going to use one arm at a time. Okay? First of all, back straight, shoulders back. First of all, we bring the right side up. Slightly twisting, contracting the bicep. As it goes down, the other one comes up. Side to side. Squeezing the bicep.
Making sure your wrist stays back on this movement. So you get all the bicep pull. No forearms. Now this also can be done together. Head up. Bring both of them together. Squeezing. Bringing it down. Rotating up. Bringing it down. Rotate it up and in. Contracting. Releasing. Contracting. Releasing. You also can do a hammer curl, which is for the brachialis. Bringing it across the chest. Squeezing it in. Bringing it down. Squeezing it in. Bringing it down. Slightly tilting the shoulder in. Body goes toward the movement. As it goes across your chest, you dip your shoulder. Squeezing it. Now remember, to do it right, you got to contract that bicep. Get that back nice and straight and tight. So alternating. Doing it together. And doing what we call the hammer curl. Squeezing it. Going across the body. Now the only thing you can do wrong in this exercise is by squeezing the bar too hard. If you start squeezing too hard, you're going to get too much play with your forearm, not your bicep. So try to squeeze hard, get a real light grip, but contracting the biceps as you go up. Just contract. Not squeezing real hard, but just bring it up so you can get good control. Don't hold it too loose because it'll come right out of your hand. Alternating here. Together. Hammer. On this exercise is anywhere from 6 to 10. Squeezing. Try to go as heavy as possible, but keep in control. If you want those arms to grow, got to go a little heavy. But try to keep it within your rep range. The next set of exercise we're going to do is for the triceps. First exercise is called the Tricep Extension. Okay, we're going to take a bar, which is called the easy curl bar because it takes less pressure on your wrist. All right, grab a flat bench, bar, and kick it back up, put it overhead, bringing the bar down to the forehead, pushing it back. Bring it down, kick it out from the body. Bring it down, kick it away. Bring it down, kick it away. As you push up, you want to exhale. Sets are like 4 to 6 because it's a very easy exercise. The first 2 sets are your warm up. The next 4 we're going to be your actual sets. Squeezing as you get to the top, extending. Rep range is going to be anywhere from 8 to 12. Squeezing. Squeezing. Bring it down. Knees, rock up. Bring it to your forehead, kicking it back so that you can get more extension on the tricep. Squeezing. Breathing out as you push away from your head. This exercise can also be brought to the head and going straight up. But you're going to try not to bring it to the head because a lot of times you end up banging your head because the weights get a little too heavy and you get out of control. Always try to keep it behind your head, keep your elbows up in the air, never let them flare out. Rock it up, head back, bring it down to the top part of the head, pushing it away. Not here. That's dangerous. End up hitting yourself right in the face. So always try to push this bar away from your body. So you push it behind the head. More behind the head. Never flaring the elbows out. Keep them in tight, going up. Bring it down. Bring your knees to the bar and let it rock you up. Okay? Very easy exercise to do, but very good for the triceps. Next we're going to do what we call a dumbbell extension. On this particular movement we're going to sort of stand up. Grab a nice medium-sized weight first to start with, then progress from there. You want to stand up and do this, not seating in the bench. So stand up and lean back. Same thing as the line extension. You want to push it away from the body. Okay? Rock up, leaning back into the bench. Arms overhead. Bring it behind. Bring it up and twisting out. This is more of an advanced movement, not a beginner's movement. Trying to bring it, squeezing at the top. All the way down, squeezing at the top. Making sure your back is secure on the pad and not arching. You can also put your feet up on the bench if you want to for better balance. I like my feet on the floor because then my body doesn't move. Rep range anywhere from 8 to 12. Squeezing it out. 3 to 4 sets. Now, very good exercise. Not for beginners because beginners normally can't have the control. Intermediate have a little bit better control, but they can't go as heavy, so it's not a good movement for them. This exercise can also be done with the barbell. With the barbell, all you're going to do is the exact same movement, but you just go straight up. It'll be more like bringing it down, bringing it up. I like the dumbbells because I can kick my elbows in, bring it straight down, and as I go up to the top, I turn out and squeeze. Turn out and squeeze. So try to remember to do 3 to 4 sets, 8 to 12 reps, and try to go as heavy as possible without injury. Our next exercise is going to be abs set of exercise. What we're going to do first is the hanging leg raisers. This can be done pretty much from anywhere. We're going to use the bar first. Here we go. Body's hanging straight. You're going to bring your knees up in a bent position, all right, to the chest. Okay, bring it up, contracting in, lowering it down. Breathing out as you bring them up. Bring it up, squeeze it in, bring it down. Pausing as you go up. Lower. Bring it up, squeeze, bring it down. Bring it up, squeeze, bring it down. You want to try to do anywhere from 15 to 20 reps per set. 3 to 4 sets. Try not to swing. Try not to get the hip flexors involved. So always go very nice and slow, bringing it up, squeezing it in. Rolling your hips forward so you can take the pressure off the hip flexors. Squeezing your abs. This particular exercise, what you're trying to do is work your lower abs. And now if you start to swing, you're going to pick up a lot of swing momentum. You start using the hip flexors. The straighter you hold your legs, the more hip flexors you get involved. So try to keep it nice and straight down, pulling it up in the bent position, rolling your hips forward, using your abs to pull. Once again, arms about a little past shoulder width apart, body still, bringing the knees up, roll hips forward, pull with the lower ab. So bring your knees up, hips forward. Now as you advance with this movement, what you do is you bring your legs up, hold it in position. Now bring it up, bring it down so your knees are just straight. Up, down. That way you keep the hip flexors out, for sure. Okay? Very easy exercise. This can be done from a beam or a bar. Whatever you can grab, hold of, and hang in a position. Okay. Our next exercise is going to be the old favorite crunch. Right here we use the incline bench to start this ab exercise with. You're going to sit down, hook your legs, get on the knee, put your hands in front, setting back, rolling back, coming up and crunching in, rolling back, coming up and crunching in. Anywhere from 15 to 20 reps. Squeezing and contracting, breathing out
as you come up. Inhale as you go down. This particular exercise, what you want to try to do is not come up too far, but keeping all the tension on the abs. Make sure you keep all the tension on the abs, because what happens, a lot of times you start using your lower back and you don't want to use your lower back. So, bring it back, never touch. This is too far down, all right? Because your tension is off your abs. So stay right about here, a little below 45. Crunching in, squeezing down, contracting the muscles. Going back. Coming up, squeezing here. You can also do this exercise with weights as you progress. But for the first time, no weights, squeezing. You're going to feel a little pressure on your quads. That's because you're squeezing your toes to try and hold your balance. But don't pay a mind to that. Just try to keep all your focus on your abs. Anyway, once again, bringing it back, squeezing in. Bringing it back, keeping it in. I like to keep my hands close to the body because when I keep my hands close to the body, I can have a weight here. Okay, another way you can do this is just by reaching up. This is called a crunch. Just reaching up, squeezing, coming down. Squeezing, coming down. Squeezing, coming down. Your contraction is on the way up. So you breathe out. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay? Once again, anywhere from 15 to 20 reps, 3 or 4 sets. That's perfect. That'll improve those abs.